Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Lords of the Night. With me, as always, your Lord of Punishment. Say hello, Scribe.
Hello, Scribe.
And I'm your Lord of Pain, the non-spelling, non-reading, barely literate ranting monkey. I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. How are you, Scribbles?
I am fine, Monkey. How are you?
I'm not too bad, not too bad.
Good.
No real complaints. How was your day, man?
It was difficult getting out of bed. I was so comfy. My sister got me these new flannel sheets for Christmas.
Oh, yeah?
I was so warm and comfy. I was like, oh, I want to get out of bed. I looked at the clock and I was like, I'm going to stay just another minute. I got to go. So I went as I got up and I dragged myself to where it's cold outside, and I get to the office and I'm the only one there because everybody's on vacation or whatever. So I started doing my work. And then all of a sudden, boo, woo, 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 the fire alarm's going off. I'm like, what? And so it's that really like screeching, drill into your brain klaxon sound.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, shit, okay. And so I put on my jacket. I start walking out towards the entrance. And I see there's a ladder there. They're doing a test. They're testing the system. And so these guys are going around to every office, making sure that all the lights are going on, everything else. So I stand outside because I just can't stand it inside. And I'm standing out there for half an hour in the cold, waiting for these guys to go through and check every office, every room in the building. And then finally they turn it off and I go back inside. I lost a half an hour of work and I was in the cold. And I'm like, I just want to go back to my flannel sheets.
You sound so sad right now.
I was comfy.
To those asking, no, Satsu has the night off. He's with family tonight. So it's just the Scribe and Money show. It's just the two of us. See, I did my afternoon show and then I called Little Butt. It's become our traditional thing for us to talk daily, which has it's nice for me. It makes my heart happy. And we were talking and I said to her, like, Christmas is coming up in a couple of days. And she goes, yeah. And then I get to see you. I was like, oh. She put me like right up there with Christmas, y'all.
Oh,
like Christmas and Grandpa, the two greatest things ever. And like, that's my girl. I talked to her about her hand because it got a little mangled yesterday. And she told me it was hurting a little. And she can't play with her right hand, so she has to do it only with her other one. I'm like, oh, I'm sorry, kiddo. She goes, yeah, I watched a lot of TV. I sat on the couch. I'm like, okay, well, you do what you need to do, kid. I thought you just take it easy with that thing. How you doing, Satsu? He's in chat there, by the way. Tell your family we said hi, my friend. Monkey Dick, Jim Jones, movies, video games. Hit that like button, guys, and share our stuff. There's stuff to be shared, and this is the sharing season. Share because you care. The more you know.
Sure, thank you.
What?
I don't know where you were going with that, but I don't think you were either, so it's fine.
I feel like I nailed it.
That's one way of putting it. You just need two more, and it'll be Christmas.
I nailed it, and you're judging me. Gunsky, thank you so much for the sticker that says cool with the little what is he? He's a pear, right?
Pear guy, yeah.
Thank you so much for that. This is Get Sad Drunk season. Only for Riggs, not Murtaugh.
Oh.
What? Scribs, we got news tonight?
Sure we do.
What happened in the world today?
Well, let's do some badass good news. How about that?
Sure, I always like that.
Granted that the assumptions about the events are true, but, things can change. A Texas resident killed 3 people in an apparent home invasion, sheriff says.
Awesome.
A suburban Houston resident grabbed a shotgun and killed 3 men who broke into his home early Monday morning.
Hold that thought. Thank you, ex-Bubba Hotep, who said, nailed it like Jesus to a cross.
That was the joke I was going for. I said you needed 2 more, but anyway.
Yeah, I got you. That's Easter, though. We're on baby Jesus right now.
Yeah. Harris County Sheriff Ed Gonzalez said a mobile home resident saw the men who were dressed in dark clothing get out of a car near the home in Channelview. The resident believed he saw a gun in one man's hand. While the first resident hid, the suspects encountered a second man who came out of his room with a shotgun. Quote, it appears there was some type of gunfire exchange, Gonzalez said, you think. The one with the shotgun was able to shoot at the 3 males, and they were all pronounced deceased here at the scene.
Shotgun's a motherfucker up close, man.
The resident who opened fire was hit once. He is being treated at a hospital. Gonzalez said authorities believe at least one suspect was armed with a pistol. It appears the men were committing a home invasion or attempted burglary. Yeah, I'd say that's probably a good guess.
Lion Patriot, thank you so much. Says, what? Grand Monkey got hurt. Who needs to be axed? I know. Don't let that little girl get hurt. How dare you? But I'm trying to just, stand back and let them take care of it. Like, she needs to have a nurse on call 24/7. Get her fixed. Anyway,
that's called mom.
Yeah. It was funny. She kept annoying her mom. Her mom's making Christmas cookies to bring up for when they come up, and she just kept getting in the way. Like, can I do this? Like, no. Okay. Can I stir that? No. Like, honey, you're supposed to be talking to me. I am talking to you. It's just cute. Yeah, and Advocates in chat says, who home invades a trailer unless meth is involved? It is amazing. I mean, he had that shotgun at the ready too. I'm not saying that there was meth going on there, but don't break into people's houses. You won't get shot in their house.
They were just going there to do some caroling. That's all.
Oh yeah, they were running advance work for Santa.
Yeah, they were his special elves. Let's see. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, play stupid games.
Reindeer Games.
Yeah.
Which was a very stupid movie. You ever see Reindeer Games?
No, it didn't look all that interesting.
Oh, Ben Affleck, Gary Sinise. Let's see, what's her name before she was super famous? Yeah, it was really bad. Although I love Gary Sinise. So anyway.
Gary Sinise is a good actor. Plus, he seems to be I don't know him personally, but he does a lot of good work in his free time.
Oh yeah, no, he does ridiculous charity work. You see that video? There's a video of him being surprised with a video of people thanking him for his help, and it's like everybody you can think of from Hollywood and a whole bunch of service members and things, and he's just sitting there like practically crying over their thanks and everything. I'll see if I can find a link to that. Anyway, in other news, if you can believe it, Colin Kaepernick's Air Force One sneakers with a not-so-subtle message sold out online.
Shocking.
Yeah, I wonder who bought them all. Whether you stand or kneel in them, a pair of Air Force One sneakers that Nike made in collaboration with Colin Kaepernick hit the market on Monday. But you're out of luck if you're trying to order through Nike's website or through the company's SNKRS app. That's sneakers without the vowels, if you notice.
Oh, I get you.
Yeah, sneakers. Because the shoes quickly sold out online, you may be in luck if stores near you have them in stock, though. While Nike is a major partner of the NFL, the brand made the 32-year-old activist the face of an ad campaign for the company's 30th anniversary last year, despite the fact that Kaepernick has not played a snap in the NFL since 2016. Quote, Nike partnered with a collective of collaborators, sounds like a bunch of hippies, to design an AF1 that connects to their life personally, a Nike spokesperson tells CNN. How much do those shoes cost, I wonder, that connects with people's lives? Colin was identified because we believe his voice and perspective inspire many generations on and off the field. The Air Force One X Colin Kaepernick, or by, I guess, because it's an X, maybe the 4x4, is made primarily of luxe black leather, with the brand's reflective swoosh logo leading to a silhouette of Kaepernick's head on the heel tab. Kaepernick's logo is featured on the tongue.
Those are ugly as fuck.
Hold on. The sneaker also has a not-so-subtle message with the date 08/14/16 on the sole of the right shoe, the Nike spokesperson confirmed to CNN. The date marks the first time Kaepernick didn't stand during the playing of the national anthem during a preseason game between the Houston Texans and San Francisco 49ers. He sat on the bench during the performance before the game and first knelt during the national anthem on September 1st, 2016.
For the record, these range in price anywhere from $60 to $150.
Oh my God. 60 for the kid shoes?
Sorry, 130, I think is the most expensive.
Oh,
no,
okay.
It's the men's shoe. Oh, no, you are right. The $58 one is the kids.
Oh, well,
And then there's
$60 kids shoes. Yeah.
the big kid's shoe is 75.
Mm.
And it goes up to 90, and then up to there's a gold pair for 150 for women,
Wow.
which is oddly fitting.
Gold digger. Oh.
I love that a company that makes sports shoes is spending a whole lot of money and time to promote a guy who isn't into sports anymore.
Hey, Nike, I don't play sports either. Can I get a shoe contract?
Probably not. Have you knelt during the national anthem?
No.
Then you can't you don't get a contract.
Oh, okay.
You have to be stunning and brave.
What if I sit out while throwing a temper tantrum?
Maybe.
Oh, okay. All right.
It's just, come on.
Yeah. That poor guy. Gosh, what a message. What a message glorifying himself. Wear my face on your foot, would you?
At least Jordan. I mean, they still make Jordans, but when they promoted him and that became a thing, it was because he was the greatest basketball player to ever play and was active in this sport at the time. This guy, he had one decent year, and after that just crashed and burned, and then pulled this shit for a contract, not because he cared about black people. Stop it. Anyway. And they've like, hey, look, go be stunning and brave like Colin. Fuck off.
Yeah. Well, let's see. It's been a relatively light news day, guys. So I found this, though, at the New York Times, and the headline caught my attention. You might see why. Earth science has a whiteness problem.
What?
Barely 10% of doctoral degrees in the geosciences go to recipients of color. The lack of diversity limits the quality of research, many scientists say.
What?
When Ariana Verulo Clark was growing up, her favorite evenings were spent watching the Weather Channel with her grandfather. That's kind of sad. She wanted to, quote, chase thunderstorms, unquote, and understand where tornadoes came from, she said. She decided to become an atmospheric scientist. In 2014, she landed an internship at the National Center for Atmospheric Research as a college sophomore and quickly realized that her path as a woman of color would not be easy.
Oh, fuck off. Oh,
do you know why she realized it would not be easy?
Too many honkies?
I'll read your super chat first.
Thank you so much, Connor Johnson. Today I watched the Star Wars holiday special, and now I want to bash my head against a steel pole.
Well, that sounds like a personal problem of personal choice.
Bash responsibly.
Just don't go see the new Star Wars movie. Quote, you'd walk through the halls, and it's a lot of old white men, Miss Verulo Clark said.
Too many honkies.
Still. So despite all of the old white men, she pushed forward and began her PhD in atmospheric science at Columbia University last year. So what difficulties was there again? That was not going to be easy. Why? The field's lack of diversity gained new urgency in May when her graduate student cohort was targeted with a series of racist emails. The messages sent to affiliates of the Lamont Doherty Earth Observatory at Columbia by a person outside of the community said that black people were genetically inferior and did not belong in academia. It was, quote, hurtful and invalidating to be told that she didn't belong in the world that had drawn her in since childhood, Miss Verulo Clark said. So you gave up, I assume.
So she got a letter from Richard Spencer, and that made her what, give up?
Yeah, that's what I was saying. So because of that email, that one email from somebody had nothing to do with you and nothing to do with the school, I suppose you just gave up, or suddenly they rescinded your PhD program.
Well, quote, it was her cohort, not her, right?
Yeah, it wasn't directed at her. It was just a bunch of people, I guess, or something. I don't know. They don't say who was sent to exactly. Quote, it was an isolated incident, but it brought to the surface what still needs to be done in the field, unquote. So it was a one-off thing by some nut job on the outside. And it represents what? Because Columbia still has you as a student. You're still pursuing your PhD.
Real quick, thank you, Binkalo, who says the Star J Wars have redeemed the holiday special, right? My son, the commercial came on when me and him were watching TV today. He goes, I feel really bad for women because they wanted a Star Wars female character, and that's what they got.
Hey, they should go watch the Clone Wars series and watch Ahsoka. If they want a female Star Wars character who's actually got some depth and, of course, has some time to develop and is relatively smartly written, go for Ahsoka or play KOTOR and watch Bastila or, any zillion other female Star Wars characters that have been developed over the various media.
You want a badass Star Wars character? Go back to the original Leia, who, when we first see her, is basically telling Vader to fuck off.
Yeah, there's that too.
Anyway, to this, okay. If I remember exactly what you said, this issue gained greater urgency because of whatever this email was.
Yeah, the issue that yes, that's what they say.
Angry Illinoisan, thank you. Would anyone believe if it was found out she sent it herself? Yeah, I'd believe it. I just don't understand why that brings greater urgency to what the issue of this chick thinking there's too many white people. I feel disconnected.
Yeah, I am confused. In a commentary last week in Nature Geoscience, which I assume is a journal, I'm going to probably screw this up. Kueli Dutt, Lamont Doherty's assistant director for academic affairs and diversity, wrote that, quote, a lack of diversity and inclusion is the single largest cultural problem facing the geosciences today, unquote.
Is it? Well, then our geoscience have pretty much no problems.
The geosciences, which include the study of planet Earth, its oceans, its atmosphere, and its interactions with human society.
Do you mean the other way around?
It's interactions with human society. Yeah, exactly. Because it's not a thing. It was not a conscious. Okay, never mind. Are among the least diverse across all fields of science. Yeah, because weather is boring. Most people's exposure to weather is like the weatherman on the local news. That doesn't seem interesting to most people. You storm chasers, sure, but then they find out what they have to do to actually go do that professionally. It's like, oh, it's a bunch of math. Nearly 90% of doctoral degree recipients are white. In the country's top 100 geoscience departments, people of color hold under 4% of tenured or tenure-track positions. Okay, so all those schools are racist, is what you're saying.
Apparently.
Including Columbia, because I would love to know what their percentage of white versus not white geoscience students are. So Columbia must be racist as well. A 2016 survey from the National Science Foundation showed that is it really representation or is it just statistics? I mean, are people there to represent anything other than themselves in their career and everything else?
Everything's about representation now,
I guess. Showed that representation of people of color in geosciences has barely budged in the past 4 decades, although sufficient gains have been made in terms of gender balance. Gender balance. Okay. Asian Americans are better represented than other people of color, according to Dr. Dutt. Oh, that sounds stereotypical to me. Accounting for 6% of those earning geoscience doctorates in 2016. Between 1973 and 2016, just 20 Native American women, 69 Black women, and 241 Hispanic women earned PhDs in the field, of some 22,600 total. Okay, now we get on to the mechanisms of what they're about to tell us why this is happening. You ready?
Yeah.
There's a very particular word I want you to pay attention for, because I hear this a lot when it comes to things like this. The field's lack of diversity begins with a pipeline problem, geoscientists say.
Jesus.
National surveys have shown that Black people are less likely than white people to participate in outdoor activities.
What?
So Black people don't go outside as much. One One survey conducted in 2009 queried 4,103 respondents and found that African Americans accounted for just 7% of national park visitors. And another survey found that they were more likely to report receiving poor service by park employees. Robert Stanton, the first black director of the National Park Service, has said that the idea that, quote, black folks don't like parks, unquote, has become a, quote, self-fulfilling prophecy. Is that a thing? I don't know. Is that a thing?
I've never heard that before.
The idea that black folks don't like parks. I don't like parks. I mean, I'm a suburban kid and I hate dirt. So, I mean, I know a lot of people that love. I got a friend from elementary school who's like a park ranger now and everything. It just people are what black folks don't like parks. I've never heard that.
Satsu, are you still in chat? I feel like we need you on this one.
Actually, you know what? This does remind me of a similar. I did a video. God, a year or two ago, whatever it was. There was a special little video about how rock climbing was dismissive of or not letting people of color into the pastime. And a similar argument was made that like black people don't rock climb or black people don't go climbing or something. It was something similar to this. And I'm just like, but you're doing it and nobody stopped you.
I think black people don't go rock climbing the same reason they don't play hockey. They're smarter than that.
Yeah. This is ironic given the context. Lisa White, that's her last name, a micropaleontologist at University of California, Berkeley, said most public schools, especially those in urban environments, did not have the resources to organize outdoor field trips introducing students to the earth sciences. And that only affects black people?
But oh my God.
But I mean, the lady at the beginning of the story, she got interested in earth science by watching the Weather Channel with her grandfather. She wasn't, I mean, I don't know, maybe she was going to parks and things, but that was the primary starting point for her. So, okay. As assistant As assistant director of education and outreach at the UC Museum of Paleontology, Dr. White has noticed that students of color tend to be more familiar with medicine, engineering, computer science, and other STEM fields that lead directly to job opportunities. Well,
because they have so much experience in engineering in their poor schools.
Yeah. Wait. What's wrong with that? I mean, that lead directly to job opportunities. So what you're saying is geosciences don't have a direct path to a job opportunity. So they're going for things that have a direct path to a job opportunity in order to have a job. I fail to see the problem here. People are smart. They go. I mean, what was the old thing? Why do you rob banks? Because that's where the money is.
I don't understand how you can sit there and say, well, they don't go into the geosciences because they don't get to go on field trips. How were they introduced to engineering?
Or computer science or medicine?
Well, I mean, we all take medicine. We all, especially these days, use computers in some point, but actually engineering, building, designing.
Legos,
Minecraft.
There you go. Minecraft is both engineering and computer science.
Yeah, but unfortunately they can't get them to stop punching trees.
Oh, here we go. Compounding the pipeline problem is one of stereotypes. The typical Earth scientist is often seen as a rugged white male. Okay, now
I'm going to need a 1 in chat if you've ever thought of the typical Earth scientist, and a 2 if you're like, I have never thought of that once in my fucking life.
No. And here's the thing. Before I read this next bit, I just want to say, I think someone's been spending too much time in the paper towel aisle. That's my opening. Here's the bit. Quote, "You think of a bearded guy on top of a mountain wearing flannel and hiking boots," said Jonathan Nichols, an associate research professor at Lamont Doherty. "We just had our big fall conference, and there were 20,000 plus geologists, and you look around, and it's all bearded white guys," unquote.
All right. So in that case, is it a stereotype? If they're all bearded white guys, that's not a stereotype. It's a fact.
Actually, you know what? I misspoke. That was my Freudian slip. He said it's all bearded guys. He did not say white guys. That was my mistake.
Oh, close enough, though. We know what they meant.
That stereotype, Dr. Nichols said, it's not a stereotype if they all had beards. Can make the field feel unwelcoming to people of color who don't see themselves represented at conferences. Yeah, because kids in elementary school regularly attend geoscience conferences with a bunch of adult scientists. When was the last time you looked at a attendance picture of a geoscience conference, Monkey?
I can say with 100% certainty, never.
Yeah, so that's why people aren't getting into the geosciences, because they regularly take stock of who's attending conferences among faculty members. Dr. White concurred that the geosciences had an image problem that prevents young people of color from applying for research opportunities.
Wait, okay. Okay, so some young kid is getting ready to decide where they're gonna what field they're gonna go into, and they're like, "Oh shit, I remember all them bearded men. I'm gonna go into this one instead." How many times have we heard the same thing about computers going into any of the other STEM fields?
Okay, here's my theory, and this goes for whether it's race or gender or whatever. And this is the God of the Gap statistic of God of the Gaps theory of statistical analysis coming into play. I've talked about this a lot in my videos. Here is a statistical divergence. There's a lot of demographic A and not enough of demographic B. Therefore, discrimination, whatever kind, discrimination. That's what it is. Okay, so the geoscience community looks at their demographic statistics and they say, there's a disparity between A and B. But we can't say that we're racist. It has to be that the people who are here are part of a racist problem. It's an image problem.
Image problem is what they actually said.
Yeah, image problem is preventing, again, I want to underscore that word, it's preventing young people of color from applying for research opportunities. So, you see, I hate to tell you this, image problem is not a legal defense against discrimination. So if you are actually preventing people from applying for research opportunities on the basis of their skin color, you're in trouble. It's not an image, it's a choice. And if it's a choice you're making, you're breaking the law. Now, of course, you don't want to say that you're breaking the law. And actually, I don't actually believe you are breaking the law. I think it's just, these are the statistics, and you guys are deciding that the reason is some kind of passive, subconscious, or conscious racism. And everybody who's noticing that isn't part of the problem. They're crusading to solve the problem without actually proving there is a problem, except for the disparity in statistics.
I'm just sitting here blown away by the thought that any kid would be like, I'm not going into geosciences because everybody there's a bearded white guy. I'm a bearded white guy, and I've never even thought of who might work in geoscience.
Well, that is the whole theory behind so many things. It's like, if you don't see yourself in the, name it, in Hollywood, in geosciences, in STEM, whatever, if you don't, quote unquote, see yourself, if the image is not one that aligns with you, therefore there's some magical, psychological, sociological block that prevents you from even attempting to go into XYZ PDQ.
I would just like to point out once again that this is what they went after Pete Buttigieg for suggesting. he got in trouble a couple weeks back for things he said in 2011 that align exactly with this.
Mm-hmm.
This is why I was laughing at it. It's like, because this is the common trope now, is that you have to see yourself in whoever's teaching you in order for you to be able to learn, or in this case, for you to be able to actually go into the field.
Right. So how do you solve this problem? Well, and I talked about this in multiple.
You quit bitching.
Well, no. That's not how you solve the problem.
Yes,
you see, and the way that schools and educational institutions have tried to solve this problem is, well, the only way that you're like, for example, the one that I just recently did on teachers and education. The only way you get students of color interested in education is if they see themselves in their instructors. Now, how do you make sure that they see themselves in their instructors? Well, you hire the instructors on the basis of what they look like.
Seriously, thank you so much. 25% of cowboys, 1860s to 1880, were black, but today's black men need their hand held around rugged men. Maybe they just need a dad at home. Well, I get the feel this was all about a woman, right?
Well, the story started out with she was the opening example. Yeah, she was the opening example.
And then they just tossed out people of color repeatedly. I haven't heard a black man whine about this. Not saying one wouldn't, but men these days of all colors tend to be rather whiny. So maybe, but that one just to me seems also because the bearded part really jumped out because.
What's the beard got to do with anything? Beard?
Well, that's your man. I mean, that's a manly thing. It's a manly man.
I mean, these days when I think of beard, I think of hipsters. Honestly, I don't think of lumberjacks so much as I think of hipsters.
Thank you, Miles Kinslow, who says, "Hey guys, I just wanted to give a shout out to a YouTuber named Prince of Queens. He recently passed away. Check his content. R.I.P." I knew Prince. Talked to him quite a few times.
I can't say that I was on too many shows with him, but I was on a couple of streams with him back in the day with like Bass Mama and everything. So back in the olden days. Well, anyway, so there's more to that quote unquote story, but it's just a recitation of the same theories, and I put quotations marks around the theories that I have heard any number of times about any number of different industries, whether it be banking or music industry or in finance, especially education, where if we don't populate our employee base with X demographic, then that is us consciously preventing X demographic from wanting to become part of our team or something. And then, of course, I always have to ask then, I guess then the only way you can solve that problem is to hire people not necessarily on the basis of their skills, but that they fit and or fix your image problem, correct? Because what other solution are you suggesting to solve the quote-unquote problem of this statistical disparity? But they never say that that's what they're doing. They never say that that's what they're going to do. Anyway.
No, there's an easy fix to this. When people say stupid shit like this, you say, stop whining, and you just ignore them for the rest of whatever they say. Because this is nonsense. It's just nonsense. And we've seen it. Yeah. We've seen it now in so many different fields.
I know that it's nonsense. And you and I know that it's nonsense. The problem is that policy I mean, corporate custom or institutional custom is being shaped around this theory.
Yep. That's why I tell them to shut the hell up.
Well, sure. And I guess in our own small way, that's what we're trying to do is like say, hey, you understand that you're just promoting racism? Do you not see that? Are you completely unaware of that you are contributing to the very thing that you say that you're trying to fight against by denigrating people on the basis of their skin color, that they're just not able to get past the image problem? They're so sensitive and so weak because they don't see quote unquote themselves, that they just can't get past that, and they give up and they go become doctors and engineers. It's like, Jesus. Anyway. Yeah, light news day, guys. That's all I had.
And with that, guys, we're going to move on to MSS News time. If there's a story you'd like us to take a look at, hit us up at the hashtag MSS News over on the Twitter machine. We can't get to them all, but that's just because we tend to wander.
Well, my avatar is based off the painting Wanderer Above the Sea Fog, so it's kind of ingrained in me.
There you go.
Let's see. This one comes from senior staff reporter and chief Florida correspondent Colleen Bernier. That was my very excited introduction.
Well done.
North Carolina woman says catfish smashed her car's windshield.
Where was her car?
Well, let's find out. Drivers will take extra caution in one North Carolina town as a new road hazard, besides the usual deer, skunk, dogs, and cats, have been added to the list of critters to be on the lookout for: flying catfish. Risa Walston, who lives in the eastern portion of the Tar Heel state, posted on Facebook that she was driving home Wednesday night when a large bird carrying the fish dropped it onto her. That's not the...
Oh, shit. That sucks.
Yeah, that wasn't the fish like jumping out of the lake into her car, but okay. Dropped it onto her car in Washington, North Carolina at about 5 p.m. Walston said she saw a bird, which she believed to be a hawk, carrying the catfish and thought to herself it was quite a big fish for the bird to be carrying. The next thing she knew, the hawk dropped the fish and smashed her windshield. Walston's cousin and her cousin's husband saw her as they were driving by and pulled over to help find the fish. I think it was pretty obvious where the fish was. And they caught it. Did they go and eat it? They don't say. They should have cooked it up and ate it. Anyway, so yeah, there you go. Flying fish.
That's some bad luck right there. That's some karma coming back to bite you in the ass.
Or it was done intentionally by the hawk.
I feel like that was some karma.
No, it's like it's going to be Planet of the Eagles, where they're like gaining sentience and they're starting to dive bomb and drop dangerous things on humans. Anyway, that's my theory. You can't make me change my mind. This one comes from Massive Dynamics. Tesco, which is a thing in the UK, by the way. Tesco withdraws charity Christmas cards. Tesco withdraws charity Christmas cards range amid claims they are packed by Chinese prison slaves after girl 6 discovers chilling note from Shanghai inmates inside a box.
Damn.
Okay. A 6-year-old schoolgirl has discovered a chilling plea from inmates of a Chinese prison scrawled inside a charity Christmas card from a 1/2 pound pack sold by Tesco, and that's pound in money. The message, which says it is from foreign prisoners in Shanghai's Qingpu prison, says they were forced to work, quote, against our will, and urgently calls for help from human rights organizations. The cry for help from cards sold by Zhejiang Yonggang Printing throws a spotlight on the plight of thousands of Chinese prisons, as well as the supply chain behind Tesco's card selection that raises £300,000 for the British Heart Foundation, Cancer Research UK, and Diabetes UK. Okay. Now, while I'm not going to say that there isn't atrocities taking place in China, I am inclined to press F to doubt that this actually is legit.
If you scroll down, you can see the note. Did you see it?
Yes, I'm looking at it right now.
That is some very well written English.
It's not to say that you can't be someone who can write English clearly.
Sure.
But it,
Here, you know what, chat? I will throw it on the screen so you guys can see it.
Yeah, like I say, I don't want to say for sure, but it's one of those things where it's like, this is too well crafted. This little girl is posing with the card.
Oh yeah, you guys want to see the little girl? Look.
Yeah,
aww.
She's got that really serious face on. I don't know. Like I said, and this is the thing. If this, okay, again, it's the boy who cried wolf thing. If this turns out to have been a hoax, and I'm not saying it is, but I am suspicious, it doesn't help the problem it is highlighting.
Well, here's my thing. These guys are over there, and apparently the horrible thing that they're having to do is make Christmas cards.
I guess.
I've heard of a lot worse things that prisoners have to do. I feel like making Christmas cards would be, even if they had to hand paint them, that would be nicer than most things I've heard about in prisons.
Yeah. So I don't know. Like I say, I'm not saying that people in Chinese prisons are somehow not being mistreated. Or in different parts are being oppressed and everything else. I'm not saying that at all. But this particular story just sounds a bit too convenient. Anyway, moving on. This one comes from Angry Illinoisan. Oh, this lady sounds like an absolute peach. Woman accused in racist attack is charged in second incident. An Iowa woman who told police she intentionally ran over a 14-year-old girl because she believed the girl was Mexican has been charged with a hate crime for an incident that occurred shortly after the girl was struck. Was she charged for being the person who struck the girl as well? Mm-hmm. Nicole Franklin, who also goes by the name Nicole Poole, was charged Sunday with assault in violation of individual rights and with operating under the influence, second offense. Her attorney didn't immediately return calls. Franklin was charged with the attempted murder following the December 9th attack on Natalia Miranda in the Des Moines suburb of Clive. Miranda suffered a concussion and severe bruising, and she was hospitalized for 2 days. Clive police have said Franklin, 42, admitted steering her SUV onto a sidewalk and running over the teenager who was walking to school to watch a basketball game. Franklin then fled the scene. West Des Moines police said in a court document that Franklin then went to a convenience store where she threw items at a clerk and directed racial epithets at him and customers. That incident prompted the new charges. Lock her up, please.
I don't believe in hate crimes.
Sure.
So,
yeah.
Okay. Running a
murder.
Running a 14-year-old girl over, regardless of your reason for doing so, should get you behind bars for the rest of your natural fucking life. They're purposefully doing so, which is what this cunt did. So fuck her. Now, as for the throwing items at the clerk, that's assault. There you go. And racial slurs, sorry, that's just free speech. So she's a dumb cunt who's committed assault and tried to murder a little girl. So we don't need extra charges for that. Just put her in a brick for the rest of her life. We're good.
Let's see. This one comes from Frosted Glass. It looks like an advice column from Slate.
Frosted, why do you do this to us?
All right, here we go. Are you ready?
Uh-huh.
This is from Slate's advice column called Dear Prudence. Dear Prudence.
Saw the headline.
Dear Prudence, won't you come out today? Help! Is there a nice way to tell my husband he's racist?
Buy him a Klan robe for Christmas? I don't know.
Let's see. Okay, cool. Here he goes. I've been married to my husband for 10 years. He's a great husband and has always seemed like a compassionate and open-minded person. In the last year or two, however, I've been having to call him out on racist language and attitudes. At first, it was in the car. He usually drives, and if someone cuts him off or does something he doesn't like, his language is almost always racist. They're a effing N-word or an effing Asian, unquote. Despite my calling him out on it every time, he has gradually gotten bolder about expressing racist attitudes that never surfaced early in our relationship. Today, he proudly told how he had joked to a waitress during lunch with the guys, quote, "When you said Merry Christmas, you left out my buddy here. He celebrates Kwanzaa, hardy har har," unquote. I was horrified that he had made a racist joke in public and told him so. He didn't see it that way, and we had a terrible argument. I got pretty upset, and I called him a racist. I don't want to mirror his name-calling, and that only escalated the argument. He insists he is really not a racist, but these incidents are giving me an ugly view of him I didn't see before. I believe he is a good person and is capable of changing this behavior. Can you give me some guidance on language I can use to help him do some self-reflection?
Can you help me change my partner? One, I don't believe that you've been married 10 years and this is the first time you saw it. I just don't.
Yeah.
Extra doubt on that bullshit. His racism while driving. I don't know what to tell you there. The joke, though, I don't get the really horrible thing about the joke.
Yeah, he celebrates Hardy. I don't get that part.
He celebrates Kwanzaa. Ha 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 ha. Who? Shut up. Lady, if your husband's racist like this and it's that bad, and you told him,
yeah.
What else are you going to do?
I didn't hear her mention kids, so she didn't say like he's a wonderful husband and father. So conceivably, you don't have anything tying him to you other than you're married to him. So there you go. Do we care to know what the columnist has to say about it?
Sure, but I want to go. He's a great husband and has always seemed like a compassionate and open-minded person. I don't believe that. I just don't. Something has either made her more sensitive to it, or this is bullshit. But go ahead. What's the
answer, or the columnist's answer is, I think that what you're really asking is, how can I tell my husband that he's a racist in a way that's nice enough and gentle enough and accommodating enough that he'll agree with me, unquote. And I'm not sure I can do that. He spent the last 2 years ramping up his use of racial slurs and homophobic abuse. Homophobic abuse?
Homophobic?
I didn't see anything in that story about okay. Wait. Effing N-word, effing Asian. That's racist. That's not okay.
Does this guy think Asians are gay?
I don't know. Homophobic abuse while he's driving, unless he just saw F and assumed it was a different word. And he started escalating by telling racist jokes to waitstaff. Honestly, I'm not even sure that was a joke. Anyway, I'm not sure why you think your husband is a good person who's capable of changing this behavior, or rather, I'm pretty sure I do know why, and it's called wishful thinking. He's demonstrated clearly, consistently, and repeatedly that he thinks this behavior is perfectly acceptable and is willing to argue with you in defense of it. If he has demonstrated even the mildest interest in self-reflection, I might have some suggestions for you, but he hasn't. He does not want to reflect. You have a racist husband who wants to say racist things because saying racist things gives him pleasure. He loves and enjoys his own racism and finds your attempts to get him to reflect irritating and joyless. Do not bend over backward making excuses for him unless you like the idea of leaving dinner parties early and trying to offer apologies on his behalf. He just likes to pretend. So basically he's telling you to divorce him.
Basically, yeah.
If you believe he's that terrible, or just whether or not he's actually a racist or anything else in his heart of hearts, if his behavior is so abhorrent to you and he's not stopping it and arguing to defend himself and continuing to do it, you might have irreconcilable differences. I'm just saying. And whether I or anybody else agrees with your interpretation or not, beside the point, it's your marriage. You deal with it. That's my advice, if anybody cared.
If he's as racist as you say, then why would you want to be with him? I can change him. That's why I don't believe for a second this is new.
He went 8 years in a marriage, and all of a sudden he just now started talking like this or acting like this.
Probably since Trump was elected.
Oh, you think that was the catalyst?
Yeah. I think that's the implication.
Oh, now he feels emboldened.
Emboldened to tell a waitress she should have told his black friend Happy Kwanzaa. Yeah.
Okay. Let's see. This one comes from Shrouded Angel. If this is true, this is hilarious. But it's from the Mirror, so who knows? TV reporter quits job on air as she wins the lottery, only to learn the prize is just £4,000.
Oops.
Spain's RTVE reporter Natalia Escudero apologized to viewers after she appeared to think she had won the jackpot and boasted she wouldn't be returning to work the next day. A Spanish TV reporter stunned views. You mean viewers? It just says stunned views. Stunned views when she announced on air that she had won the lottery before telling her colleagues she wouldn't be returning to work the next day. But there was a twist for the reporter, who quickly realized she had not scooped. had not scooped the jackpot millions in the Christmas draw after all. Natalia Escudero was forced to apologize after it emerged she had only won €5,000 or £4,000. The top prize for the Christmas lottery, known as El Gordo, the fat one, was €4 million or £3.4 million, but the pool of cash can be shared among winners. Miss Escudero later had to apologize to the public broadcaster's viewers after she was accused of a lack of professionalism. Okay, well, there you go. It's, whoops, celebrated too soon.
Can anybody blame her?
I mean, I don't know if I would have done it on air like that, even if I had won millions of dollars.
Fuck it. People need to relax. She thought she'd won millions of dollars and she wouldn't have to work anywhere anymore.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. What's this? Well, this looks like it might be a happy Christmas story. Let's see. This one comes from Peter Stewart. Woman finds Zimbabwean student's lost passport just in time for Christmas trip home. Toronto, a young man from Zimbabwe will be spending the holidays with his family in Africa after his urgent plea for the return of a lost passport worked. Leonard Maurora made the plea on Facebook on December 15th after he realized he left his Zimbabwean passport inside a bag that he had previously returned to a winner's location in St. John's, NL. NL, what? I don't know what that means.
New Lobster.
New Lobster. Yeah, New Lobster, Canada. Fast forward a week and April Day. Oh, that's her. Oh, that's a person's name. I thought it was like a date. April Day. I was like, did this take place earlier this year? Fast forward a weekend. April Day, who bought the bag, found the passport and reached out to Morara to let him know the good news. After receiving his passport on the weekend, the Memorial University student was headed back to Zimbabwe for the holidays, a trip he nearly had to cancel. I'm so happy, to be honest, because I never saw this day coming, he told NTV News. You mean April Day? That April day? After losing my passport, I thought I was going to be in St. John's this whole Christmas, but now I get to go home and see my parents and enjoy Christmas with others. Okay.
We're being told that's Newfoundland. Newfoundland.
Wait, NL is Newfoundland? Newfoundland. Okay, Newfoundland. Okay. All right. I'm not Canadian. I don't know.
Shouldn't that be at least NF?
Yeah, you would think Newfoundland. I mean, NS.
Canadians.
NS is Nova Scotia. I know that much. But NL, it's like that'd be like New Lobster makes much more sense.
It's New Lobster. I don't care what they say.
New Lobster, Canada.
New Lobster, Canada, because the old one stinks.
Let's see.
I want to put this on the screen real quick. This is what Jordan has in the hashtag. He said he might not be around for a couple of days, but he wanted to share this picture. This is something he made with his mom when he was young. He hangs it up every year.
Oh,
isn't that cool?
That's awesome. Simple and effective.
Plus, his house is now guarded by the Ninja Turtles.
The Christmas Ninja Turtles. Let's see. And I'll do this one last because it looks like it's ridiculous. This one comes from Nitra Martin. Or Nitra? Is it Nitra or Nitra? Have we ever did figure that out?
I don't know if we ever did.
I don't want to say Nitra because it's like nitrous and it's like power.
Nitra. I always say Nitra, so.
All right. The CBC, that's the Canadian Broadcasting Corporation, wants to cancel Baby Yoda. In a year of spectacularly horrible hot takes, the CBC managed to produce the most cringeworthy.
I'm sorry. No, I was going to suggest there's actually a link to the original story. After you read like the first paragraph, pop over there so you can read this bitch's actual thoughts. Oh my God.
What? The Yoda story?
Yeah. Because this is a story about a story.
Oh, I see. Okay, then I'll just read that one then.
Yeah.
Okay, so the real story. The Phantom Menace, when Baby Yoda memes go bad. Ooh! Let's Let's see. Quote, "You're telling me you're the only person on the internet who doesn't find Baby Yoda cute?" Unquote. "This is a conversation I had with my brother on our way to dinner recently. I had told him, much to his dismay, that this was the case. My feed had been inundated with the same 4 memes from dozens of accounts, each one feeling more like a discount Disney billboard than the last. Quote, and it's working for them," he said. In theory, he's right. The robed, big-eyed creature deemed Baby Yoda from Disney's new series, The Mandalorian, based in the Star Wars universe, has dominated online pop culture recently. Memes, articles, and even fan tattoos have sprung up in a matter of weeks. I never really got tattoos, but whatever. From a bird's eye view, it's another successful wave of meme marketing. But my grievance extends beyond the repetitiveness of the content. It's with the unmeasurable risks companies are taking by handing over their brands to unknown creators.
Yes.
From a marketing perspective, it's smart at the surface level. Hey, lady, I don't know if you know this, and maybe it was part of the publicity stunt. I don't know. But Disney initially took down Yoda memes from places like Giphy when they first popped up because they didn't like that. But then they had to sort of reverse themselves because fair use kind of came into play. Free speech as well.
Well, and from the way she talks about it at the beginning, it's like Disney said, "Here, have Baby Yodas.
Mm-hmm.
You use them in memes, please." What are they supposed to do? Actually go out and try to take them all down?
Yeah. It's no coincidence that Baby Yoda's popularity is spiking during a monumental time for the brand. Disney Plus is in its infancy and has been highly anticipated as a contender in the streaming world. A new Star Wars movie is in theaters. Blech! Yeah, it was. And the holidays are a busy time for merchandise sales. Hell, you'd almost think that Disney has some kind of experience in marketing strategy or something. Okay, anyway. Given the success of meme marketing as a tactic late last year, it's not Disney doing it, at least not initially. They might be doing it now. And again, unless they're taking memes down was part of a marketing strategy of bringing attention to it through being a jerk. They tried to take it down initially. So I don't think that was their initial idea, lady. I think the memes started because people like Baby Yoda. And yes, Baby Yoda is a corporate image thing, but then everything is. I mean, who do you work for again? This column is an opinion of a writer and marketing manager based in Toronto, specializing in human-driven stories about culture, food, and media.
She grew up in New Lobster.
So what you're telling me, author of this story, is that you're using your corporate marketing knowledge to complain about a corporate marketing strategy that you imagine is taking place, and you think it's a bad thing because corporate marketing is bad, but you're a corporate marketing manager.
Well, she goes on to say in this, what they might not have considered is the damage being done to the integrity of their brand.
Yeah, I think she's jealous.
You cannot stop people from making a Baby Yoda meme.
Yeah.
What does she expect them to do? Because that other article, Scribbles, it actually tells us the original name of this article was "Cancel Baby." It's time to cancel Baby Yoda. She changed it probably because she got so much shit for it.
I can imagine. Hey, I have a piece of information for the author of this. It's not the meme creators who are threatening or damaging Disney's brand. It's Disney damaging their fucking brand with shit like Last Jedi and Rise of Skywalker.
Yeah.
They have done the most damage to their brand. Okay? It's not people being happy about Baby Yoda. And I'll tell you what, The Mandalorian, not every episode is a gem, but I'll tell you what, as a collective, it is better Star Wars in 5 or 6 episodes now than all of the last 3 movies. It is better, fun, interesting storytelling and swashbuckle a little bit of old serial stuff. And I'm talking about like this movie serials, not cereal as soup stuff. And Baby Yoda, while obviously designed to be super cute and adorable, is not a bad thing. And if you want to see something else, I mean, Baby Yoda is so cute, but what's happening around Baby Yoda? People getting killed with laser bolts through their chests. I mean, it's kind of a give and take situation.
Well, she makes it sound like Disney's the one putting out the meme.
Yeah, she's an idiot.
And
I mean, maybe they are at this point. Again, if the whole taking down memes wasn't part of a marketing strategy, which, it's sort of a reverse psychology thing, maybe it was. But either way, at this point, maybe they are putting out some memes. Holy
crap. Thank you so much, Cody Fry, who says, Merry Christmas Eve Eve. Have a gift of currency. Thank you so very much. Very, very generous of you. And
Cody.
Merry Christmas Eve Eve back. Thank you. That is very generous.
Is Chaos Eve going to do a Christmas Chaos Eve?
I don't know.
If she isn't already planning on doing something like that, it totally should.
Yeah, but this is a marketing manager who doesn't seem to understand that the stuff she's whining about isn't actually Disney doing it.
Yeah, and you know what? The Mandalorian is more popular because of Baby Yoda than anything.
Oh, yes, absolutely.
I mean, that's not to say that for those of us who are like Star Wars geeks and recognize and appreciate everything else going on in that series, Baby Yoda is definitely a good draw. And also remember, this is Disney. Having something cute that draws people in, yeah, they never thought of that before, did they? And it's totally and no other Disney characters have ever been used as memes before.
Pinkalo. Thank you, Pinkalo, who says CBC is CNN high on maple syrup.
Yeah, there you go. Anyway, that's all the stories we have time for.
So wow. No, I read that earlier today, and I'm like, but what do you want them to do?
Yeah.
What do you want? You can't stop because she goes on at one point to talk about they released some still images. Yeah, I can take all of those still images myself. Every single one that's been used so far and more, actually. Because we have that power with computers, you silly twat.
I guess the only solution is for Disney to lock down the internet so no one can say anything ever.
Nope, you got to get rid of Baby Yoda.
Yeah, because that'll stop the memes. Because, now that there are images of Baby Yoda out there, if Baby Yoda never appears on another episode of The Mandalorian, those memes will just disappear. It'll never be used again. Baby Yoda holding a little cup of coffee and looking at people all innocently, yeah, that'll never be used again.
By the way, sweetheart, you're not special. You're not the only one who thinks Baby Yoda's ugly. I don't think he's cute. I've said he's ugly. I've heard other people say he's ugly. Just shut up. With that, guys, we're going to move on to YouTube time. And Scribbles, did you do anything today?
YouTube-wise?
Yeah.
No, I did not. But was it yesterday? I think it was yesterday. Let me see real quick because I can't remember. Maybe it wasn't. I think it was Saturday. I'm already flubbing things up. Maybe it wasn't. No, let's see. That's it. No, that was that. Yeah, I did the whole story thing about the couple with the in prison thing the other day. So yeah, nope, nothing today. Nothing
today. Nothing yesterday.
Nope, I took a day off yesterday. I've been looking around for stuff, but like I said before, it's just like done it. Another TED Talk. I hate slugging through TED Talks now. I think I've had my fill of TEDx talks and TED Talks now. Maybe we'll see.
Reno says unlicensed Baby Yoda memes will be declared a hate crime in Europe soon. Yeah, unfortunately, that's probably not a laugh. Let's see. Since we last spoke on Saturday, guys, we had our game stream yesterday. That was a weird one because we played GTFO, and that is a weird game to play as a stream game.
I watched you guys play a little bit of that. I was like, yeah, it was very dark. The graphics look interesting, I guess. It's all very monsters and things. When I saw you guys had the turrets out and we were like have a hallway with guys like rushing at you, and I couldn't help but think of like Aliens.
Yeah, it has that kind of vibe to it, and it's a fun game, but because there's no save, because this is considered a very hardcore game where you just keep pressing as far as you can. And if you fail, you have to repeat it all. And there's no, there's a little bit of randomization to where they put the monsters, but the level itself is identical. Mm-hmm. It gets very repetitive. Mm. So we stopped playing that after about 2 hours. Then we jumped up. We played a little bit of some Gary's Mod stuff. And then for the last hour, I guess, maybe, we played stick figure fighting.
Oh, okay.
And that was a blast. It was Random had dropped out by then, but so it was me, Sinatra, and Satsu just laughing our asses off as we killed each other over and over. And then let's see, did Monkey in the Morning? Did I do I did a Red Dead stream last night. Then I did Monkey in the Morning. And then I did a Monkey in the Morning after party because I saw this chick, Scribe. Feminist on tour. We'll talk about her in just a minute. And she just annoyed me to the point where, like, yeah, fuck it, I need to talk about this. And it came up that this was what is it called? The day of grievance for Festivus or something like that.
Oh, okay.
For Festivus, you know, this made up thing from Seinfeld, the holiday for the rest of us.
Yeah, Festivus for the rest of us. Yeah.
Well, the 23rd is the day where you air all your grievances for the year, because otherwise you're supposed to keep them inside. And it's like, I don't need that. I do that every fucking day. That's my job, actually. So
can you imagine, like, being forced by society to not air any grievance except for one day out of the year? It's like the purge or something.
I feel like
only on this day may you complain.
I feel like there'd be a lot more murder.
Yeah, probably.
And then now we're here. So yeah, there you go. Which brings us on to the fucketry time. Did you have any humpetry today, Scribbles?
Not really. No, I was busy at work. I mean, even though it was a slow day, I was very occupied between fire alarms and my regular stuff. So I was kind of fucketryed not today. So yeah, I don't have anything to offer. I'm sorry.
Oh no, that's fine. So we'll start with this one. This one I saw, when was this? A couple hours ago. Ilhan Omar retweeted this out.
Uh-oh.
And it's this chick who, she's in Brooklyn, and suddenly this really, really, really loud Muslim prayer comes over some loudspeaker somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
And the chick, she's just looking around, and she goes, "What the fuck is this? It's Brooklyn." And Ilhan Omar had this to say: "Look at these Muslims practicing their First Amendment. Someone call the Constitution Police."
What?
Because somebody was like, "Why in the fuck are we having major loud Muslim prayers bellowing throughout the city?" Yeah, apparently we finally figured out what it takes to make the liberals care about the fucking First Amendment.
Oh.
Here's the thing. You don't get the right to annoy everybody around you like that. You can't crank up Motley Crue at 2:00 in the morning and claim, you know, hey, First Amendment, bitch. You don't get to do that. And I doubt Ilhan Omar, if somebody was out there with a bullhorn in the middle of the street screaming about how women need to be in the kitchen, that she'd be, hey, that's that guy's First Amendment. Hey, we need the Constitution Police. With her little sarcastic shit.
Mm-hmm.
You don't get to just go out there and be loud and obnoxious to the point where you're literally going over several city fucking blocks like that. I mean, it's happening there, so I guess they're doing it. But I can understand why people would be like, fuck that. Isn't that disturbing the peace? It should be. Angry. In my opinion, it definitely isn't. And that's not because it's Muslim prayers. I would say the same if it's Catholic prayers, or if it is just somebody blasting music for no fucking reason. Yeah, you don't get to just annoy everybody around you because you have freedom of speech. That's not quite how that works, Miss Omar. I know you know what the Constitution is because you guys talked all about it the last couple of weeks. Isn't that how it works? Since they mentioned it, they actually know what it says. Anyway.
You would think, you would hope, but who knows?
Yeah, I just thought it was funny that this is what finally she cares about, the First Amendment over this. Because, well, I think we can see why. Chucky Schumer tweeted out today, President Trump released the emails, let the witnesses testify, and Talking Points memo. Apparently he had wrote a story for them. And I just told him to please explain to us what he meant when he warned the president that the intelligence communities have a way to get to him. And please do so. Please do so while holding up the IG report.
Oh no! I heard about these emails that supposedly say that there was right after the phone call there was an email that said we got him and we're not going to send him the money or whatever, or something like that.
Yeah, that's not. I read the story about what it said, and was it? I think it was a CNN article that I read about it where they're like, it shows some disturbing stuff, and it actually doesn't. It's CNN being CNN; they're being hyperbolic. It says something to the effect of hold the money, and
Right.
told somebody to keep it close to the vest. It's all the stuff we already knew. But it was internal people talking about, this is what's going on at the moment. Yeah. What else we got going on? Oh, this chick. Where's she from again? She's Denver City Council winner.
Oh, okay, go ahead.
So this Denver City Council chick, and I'll throw the link into chat so you guys can watch it yourselves if you want, because it's actually a video. And in this video, she tells us that capitalism just isn't working, you guys.
Right.
It just isn't. And maybe there's better ways out there to do it, And the really scary part of what she says is that she's going to do whatever she can or she's going to bring these changes we need, bring in some socialism and communism, you guys, by any means necessary.
Any means necessary.
Time out. I'm going to need you to define that. I've seen what happens when commies start getting those kind of ideas, and it's not always the best thing. It's actually a little bit scary. So if you could be a little bit more specific, are you talking like lining people up against walls, or are you just talking about like heavy advertising? Because those are two different things. But yeah, it's not working for. Capitalism just isn't working. And guys, you folks over there in Denver, good luck. Man, some of the people we keep electing. This one is about the title of the stream, and I don't know if you saw this going around. The hashtag we vape, we vote.
I hadn't heard that one.
Vote.
Hadn't heard that one.
So what's going on is it's come out that somebody reported, and I don't know if it's been confirmed yet. I didn't actually see anything confirming it. But that Donald Trump was considering banning flavored vape.
I've heard that theory before. Is that true?
Well, again, I couldn't find anything that actually proved it. Just one person said they had it on good authority that Trump was, the closest I found was somebody said they had it on good authority that Trump was considering it. And a whole bunch of people lost their shit.
Okay.
Now if you go to that hashtag, there's two kinds of people tweeting. Eric says old news. Nope, this is good. This is new news. This is today. You have one side, a whole bunch of people saying, I'm a single issue voter, and if you ban all these vapes, I'm not voting for you.
That's your single issue. You have a blessed life.
I feel like they don't understand what single issue means.
Yeah, that's a little. Yeah.
Usually single issue is I'm an abortion voter, and I have a hard time believing that they voted for Donald Trump in 2016 based on flavored vape. I think they just heard a term and they're like, well, yeah, this is my single issue. And no, that's not how it works. You're using the term wrong, dumbass. And then the other side, the other kind of tweet you will see is a whole bunch of people doing something to the effect of kids in cages, grabbing women by the pussy. None of this bothers you. Oh, but vape is your last straw. That's where you just can't take it anymore. Trump voters are weird. But oh my God, you guys are all fucking idiots. You all deserve each other. Everybody in that thread deserves each other. They're just a bunch of weirdos. I understand it. There's a lot of like vape shops and stuff where these people are like, look, if you do something like this, you're going to kill the vape industry. And you will. You'll harm it a lot. And the idea being that, we have to get rid of these candy flavored vapes because it's making kids vape. It's not making kids vape. It's not. There's actually some studies that show that as well, that kids will vape whatever they can get their hands on. Doesn't matter what flavor it is, whether it's just regular nicotine or it's regular tobacco, or it's, tutti frutti.
Yeah.
They just want to base it. Same reason kids smoke. Nobody's out there smoking tutti frutti cigarettes. It's menthol or regular. And most of them smoke regular. Can't blame it on Joe Camel anymore because, they got rid of him.
Poor Joe.
This whole idea, it's all marketing to children. And Mr. President, I hope you don't do this. I really don't. But if you did, it wouldn't make me go vote for Bernie Sanders or Elizabeth Warren because you vote or because of this.
Yeah.
And if that is your single issue, I kind of don't want you voting anyway. Because you're mildly retarded.
If that is your single issue, like I say, you live a charmed life, honestly. If that's the most important thing to you, man, I wish.
It's just, I mean, I hate to give the other side their props. I mean, I wouldn't go with like grabbing them by the pussy and kids in cages. I'm like, I'm more like the war in Syria, the war in Afghanistan, increasing taxes. These would be my single issues where they're like, no, you're taking away my fruity vape.
My fruity vapes.
And look, I'm not saying that with disgust in my voice. I like fruit flavored vapes. They're tasty. But if that's your issue, I'm like, yeah. How charmed is your life? So, but it's a fucking wonderful hashtag to peruse, though. But it does get very repetitive very quickly because nobody in it is very original.
Yeah.
It's just a bunch of those same people asking each other the same questions. Like, there was another one. Oh, well, I guess I didn't actually tweet that out. Oh, I guess I didn't.
What's that?
Well, the one I was going to talk about from what I talked about on Monkey in the Morning, I thought I'd actually commented or something on one of those. When I woke up this morning, one of the first things I saw was this chick who was whining about how horrible it was that men still ask for a woman's hand in marriage. They go ask the father if it's okay.
Oh, for permission to marry your
permission
daughter.
For permission to ask. Yeah. And I forget her name, but I've run into her before, and I couldn't remember why. And to be honest, I still don't remember why.
Okay.
As I read through her stuff, it's like, oh, she is so very familiar to me. So very familiar.
What's the name?
I'm trying to find it here. Like I said, I forgot to retweet. I hate when I do that shit. There's a reason I retweet stuff, guys, and it's so I can find it easily. Because when I retweet it, I just have to go over to my my profile, and it's right there for me. Is it this one? Yep, this is it. What's her name again? Your feminist boss. That's her handle. Your
feminist boss. Okay.
Yeah, I'm fairly certain I've talked about her on this show before.
Don't recognize it myself.
But this is the exact tweet. It says, men still going to a woman's father for permission to marry is beyond infuriating. Women are not fucking cattle to be traded. We can make our own decisions, and our fathers don't get a say in this as if we're property to be traded from one man to another. Says a lot about a man. And there's this great part in here, and this is blown up so big I can't even find it. But there was a guy in here who said, my wife is a daddy's girl, and she wanted me to do that.
Okay.
And this lady came back with, well, for me, it's a historical thing. Women don't understand that it was a matter of us being traded around like cattle, and that's what it is for me.
Well, that's your problem, isn't it?
Isn't it? Yeah, it's like, well, it's not. If you don't like it, fine, then don't have your boyfriend do it, or if your boyfriend, tell him not to if he's considering marriage. But for the people who want that done, it may have been a sign of ownership or something like that at one time. Mostly in the more recent past, when it was really, really traditional, it was more of just a show of respect for the father.
Yeah.
Had nothing to do with actual ownership of the child.
Yeah, respect for the family, for the father, for, you know, and again, but that's beside that. You got to your feminist boss thinks that what a woman likes to do is wrong.
Well, I'm glad you brought that up.
I tend to do things like that.
Because after I read this and I was going through her timeline, I'm like, this bitch seems so familiar.
Okay.
I came across this post. Now, the post I'm about to read was somebody else. This is who your feminist boss eventually replies to, but here's the original tweet. It says, I want and need my boyfriend. I want to get married and have children.
Okay.
I will take time out from work to raise my children, no daycare. I like traditional gender roles. Divorce is my worst nightmare. None of these statements make me weak or make me a weak woman like feminists would say.
Mm-hmm.
And your feminist boss responds, feminists fight for your choice to do whatever you want with your life. That means getting married and having children without working. Great. If you don't want to get married and have a career, great. You've clearly never talked with a feminist before. You just want to smear us. Isn't this chick great?
Yeah.
By the way, these two tweets came within 4 hours of each other.
Oh, imagine that.
Yeah. This bitch doesn't even know what she's saying.
Are you saying that someone is being like just inherently hypocritical, Monkey?
I don't know that. I mean, it is hypocritical, but I think it's actually more just stupid.
Oh, now Monkey, you don't know anything about.
Oh, I do.
Oh,
She's stupid.
Okay.
I've seen quite a bit of her, and she's an idiot. Yeah, that was a lot of fun. The other one that I saw was Tim Pool, and why didn't I save this one either? Now I gotta go through my damn history and find that one. Tim Pool's actually the first one I saw today, and I don't hate Tim Pool. I really don't.
But
it's just every so often I see him say something, and it's just like, dude, you're kind of an idiot.
Okay.
So Tim Pool, damn it, I got the wrong one.
How many can there be?
Well, there's the original tweet he was responding to, and then his, and for some reason they both came up with Tim Pool as the thing in the history. I hate this. I miss old history. I miss the history on like Windows 10 kind of stuff back in those days.
I thought you were just saying you were a boomer there for a second.
No, I know what I'm doing. I just hate the way that it comes up now. Fuck it. I'll just go to his timeline. It'll be easier to find it that way. Tim Pool. Nope. Damn it. This is why I need a producer, you guys. That's my new catchphrase, Scribe. I need a producer.
You have a producer, Lady Monkey. She produced 3 children for you.
Not that kind of producer.
Oh, okay.
He says Sanders is the Democrat frontrunner, and the media and DNC are full of shit. Biden can barely talk straight, and he doesn't know where he is. Now, I'm going to throw on screen the justification Tim used for this.
Okay.
This is a graph done by somebody. Which Democratic presidential candidates were recognized most by generation? Okay. And at the top of all of them, except boomers, is Sanders. And he's really close to the top with boomers. Biden's at the top of that. And on all the other ones, Sanders is clearly leading. So because he's the most recognized, that means he's the front runner.
That's not necessarily so.
That's not even close to necessarily so.
Yeah.
And again, the example I used, because we talked about this afternoon, and I'm not trying to say Bernie Sanders is this man, but arguably the most recognizable person of the last, say, 200 years is Adolf Hitler. Easily.
Okay, sure.
But
he's nobody's front runner unless you're an absolute asshole.
Yeah, nobody's supporting him.
Right. Yeah. Recognizable does not mean approve.
Yeah, exactly.
Like Ted Bundy is recognizable, but most people don't approve of Ted Bundy.
But in Tim's world, apparently that's how things work. All polls show that Sanders is still clearly the front runner nationally.
Okay.
Sanders is right now, it looks like in a dead heat with Buttigieg in both Iowa and New Hampshire.
Okay.
And then after that, the next caucus after that, the next primaries in South Carolina, where Biden has like a 10 to 15 point lead still.
Okay.
And then you move on to Nevada, which he's got a 5 to 10 point lead still.
It's Nevada.
It's Nevada.
It's Nevada.
It's Nevada.
Okay. You do you, boo.
I say it both ways. I would have said Nevada sometimes, but since you argued with me, I'll say Nevada.
Yeah, I know. You're just being contrarian to be contrarian.
No, I just change it up sometimes because I think it's funny.
Uh-huh.
But if you argue, then I have to argue back.
Right. You know, I understand. You've got OCD.
I have argument OCD.
Yeah. No, you got
Nevada.
obsessive complaining disorder.
That's not complaining. It's arguing.
Yeah, arguing is a kind of a complaint.
I don't feel that it is.
Oh, okay.
So clearly he's not. Sanders is not the front runner. You can make the argument that he's the front runner in the first two primary / I wish they would just pick one goddamn name, and I realize they're different things, but
yes,
for the purpose of the rest of this, I'm just saying primary in the first primaries. But otherwise, as the primary as a whole on a national level, he's clearly not. And taking this because you desperately want to be a Bernie bro so that you can have your hipster cred is just sad, man. And many people pointed this out to him, and I don't know if it ever got through to him because I stopped reading the thread for me, it was more like, I can't believe you'd say something that fucking stupid out loud. And if you're going to say something that stupid, at the very least, pull up those first two polls and go by that. And yes, we know polls can be manipulated to show what you want them to or whatnot. And we know that the polling isn't necessarily always accurate.
Especially if it comes from Harry Enton.
But at least then you have something you can point to other than, yeah, people knew his face. All right. They knew his face. And that means what exactly?
Yeah. Does that make Colin Kaepernick a viable candidate then? Because people know his face, or George Clooney.
He's the front runner.
Or Taylor Stewart. Taylor Swift.
Sad Boy says,
anyway.
Sad Boy says, careful, monkey, you're arguing with the master scribe. Scribe was very bright there and just stopped, because that's what you have to do if you're arguing with me.
No, it's because I was in on the joke.
That's not why you did it.
Yeah, whatever.
No, it's funny because earlier today, I started arguing with Badger about something, and he quickly stopped. He goes, "I'm not doing this with you because there's no.
Right.
You're just never going to change your mind. I'm not arguing with you." I'm like, "All right," and then I got him to argue anyway.
Yeah, because arguing is kind of like part of German DNA, isn't it?
You would think so, but they're really not that good at it. Arguing is what I do for fun. And I will argue shit I don't even come close to believing, just to have fun with it.
Yeah, I'd never noticed in all these years.
He won't make it this time either. Too old, too left, too hypocritical. If you're talking about Bernie, I don't think Bernie will win.
Yeah.
But this time, I mean, his main challenger is an old woman and another old man. So I feel like he has a better shot.
He's got a better shot this time around than last time. That's for sure.
From what we can see, it doesn't look like he has the DNC actively working against him either.
No, but they're also not doing a whole hell of a lot to. Well, I mean, I don't know if
they're not promoting him.
They're not promoting him. I don't know if you can call the DNC impartial in this situation, but yeah, they're not taking a stance one way or the other. Clearly. Yeah,
I mean, he's been in the center, 3 people in all of the debates, so he's a nice front and center. He's had plenty of speaking time in each of the debates. I think the media has paid less attention to him this time because they put more of their attention on Warren than they have him.
Yeah,
he's old news at this point. He's old news, and you have Warren, who's a woman who's preaching the same values and is actually going even further with that stuff. She's making Bernie seem a little bit reasonable. And they're like, let's go with that, commie. Anyway.
Yeah, it is kind of a advantage by contrast, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's like, well, he's not as... he and Warren are kind of on the same page, but he's not quite as nutty as Warren. So... yeah, I mean, barring something else coming up, I think it's going to come down to Biden and Bernie. And I think Biden still comes out ahead, barring him doing something or saying something that just is unavoidably bad. I mean, so far you'd think in his litany of recent gaffes, one or two of those alone would make people go, maybe he's not all there. But so far that apparently hasn't been the case because the media and everybody else is still pushing him.
I'm really curious to see if the three old fogies in this can hold out. Because we're coming up to the first set of primaries. That's February 3rd for the Iowa caucus and February 11th for the New Hampshire primary. So we're a month away from seeing who starts actually getting some buzz. And they seem like the top three candidates. They really do. But we've seen things change before. I mean, Barack Obama came out of nowhere when he beat Clinton.
Yeah. Well, do you see Yang gaining more traction then? Because he's really the only alternative that's got some traction right now.
Buttigieg is the only other one I see who has a real shot right now.
Oh, yeah, I guess. He still doesn't strike me like he keeps waffling on different things and saying stuff that just I don't know.
Don't get me wrong. I don't think he's a good candidate. But when these are your other three choices and all of them you're really voting for a vice president,
yeah,
I mean, I could see it. Your other choice right now is Booker, who actually came out today and suggested he may propose to his girlfriend on caucus night.
Oh no!
Yeah,
please, Corey. God, I had such high hopes for Corey.
I know, me too.
I don't understand. I honestly don't understand how he has been so completely ineffective, just across the board. Like not even interesting enough that sometimes I remember he's even in the race anymore.
I think Corey got screwed partially by his own. Partially, it's been his own campaigning. He's been a very lackluster candidate.
Yeah, he has been.
But this field was so big, and so many names that the media liked jumped in here.
Yeah, but I mean, if you watch, there was I think I mentioned this before. There's a documentary about his trail to becoming mayor in Newark. It was called like Street Fight, I think it was called. And I mean, it just amazes me that none of the energy that you saw him as mayoral candidate Booker seems to have even been present in presidential candidate Booker. It just, I don't know. Or maybe it is the media paying attention to other people more than him, and he has been, and it just hasn't been highlighted. Well, but geez, Louise.
No, it's not just the media not highlighting him. If this was a 2 or 3 candidate race, I think he could do quite well with as lackluster as he is.
Yeah.
But in this field, especially when you have Biden and Sanders in there, you knew those two names were going to dominate the race. You had to come in here and be fiery. That doesn't necessarily mean go after your opponents or anything, but you need to have passion in your speaking, whether it's your campaign speeches or, Corey, when you're up there on the stage with all the other candidates. He sounds bored.
Well, I know, and that's what I'm talking about. Is like of all the candidates, and especially his like Spartacus stuff previously, I thought he'd be like the most energetic or one of the most. But no, like I say, it boggles me.
He can give a good speech. I've seen him do it, and he's just not selling himself. But anyway, guys, this is your time. Questions, comments, concerns, throw them into the chat now. I'm a little bit behind on that. So go ahead and take care of that now. Toss them in there. We'll do our best as we continue on here. But yeah, Corey, he should have been a good candidate, and he just dropped the ball. And it's all on him. It's all on him.
Yeah.
If you want press coverage, go out there and get press coverage.
Do you think maybe like after his whole Spartacus thing, he was advised to tone it down? He took it too seriously.
No, I think he's trying too hard. There was this notion that the Republicans went too hard at each other.
Yeah.
And the Democrats have really been like fighting the idea that they might be fighting each other.
Oh, so he's trying to play peacemaker?
Yeah, he is. He's trying to be the cool,
to his own
calm
detriment. Yeah, to his own detriment. Yeah, okay.
Captain Bramble says, what is your favorite Jefferson Darcy era episode of Married with Children? Oh, I have a ton of them. Favorite, man, that's hard. That is absolutely hard. Probably the okay, I'm going to give you two. The Psychic Avengers episode. It's the one where Al asks Jefferson how he always has money, and he tells him that he's a Madame Cleo kind of person. And so Al starts working for him, and they end up actually building this big psychic business. It's a great one. And then the one where they become a church, the Church of No Ma'am.
No, that's right.
And Al gets up there and he does a Jimmy Swaggart impersonation because his big scandal is that he went to dinner with his wife for their anniversary and he actually liked her. It was fucking awesome. Isn't Fruity Vapes Darth Vader's gay cousin? Sure. Did you ask Lady Monkey's dad for her hand in marriage? No, I did not.
Would you have?
I would have, sure.
All right.
I wouldn't have cared about his answer, but I would have. Did you know today is classified as the birthday of the transistor? I did not.
Oh, okay.
That's an important day in our history then, though.
All right.
Evil One says, I went back and put all the Christmas women on the MITAM and Noir Bar hashtag so everyone can enjoy. So everyone go look. You to Scribe Light. Yeah, there's some great Christmas packages over there on the hashtag.
Cool.
Are you guys going to be here tomorrow and Christmas? Yes. Well, I will be. Are you going to be around, Scribbles?
Yep, I'm going to be hosting on my channel like usual.
There you go. Monkey, how did you vent before you streamed? What?
Yeah, what did you do to release the pressure valve before you had the internet and such?
Oh. Mostly argued with people in real life.
There you go.
Or the same thing I do oftentimes before you guys hear me talk about a lot of stuff, I've actually already vented out loud to myself. It's yeah. And before that, because it was before I streamed, I used to also have a blog that I used to run. And before that, a best friend who loved to argue politics, and we weren't always on the same page. So sometimes I just go fuck with him, just for fun of it. Did you hear Sargon's The Politics of Demolition is out of copyright jail? I didn't even know it was a thing.
Oh, Demolition. Yeah, I saw that his little video series existed and somebody else had mirrored it or something. But yeah, he used clips from Demolition Man to sort of illustrate how close we've come to some of the things depicted as science fiction and comedy in that movie. And yeah, he got zapped for copyright. Yeah,
I don't watch Sargon all that often, so
I haven't. Yeah, I kind of tapered off over the last year or so, or year and a half. I don't know. I'm still subscribed and everything. I just I mean, a lot of his stuff had to do with Brexit for a long time. It was all politics for British stuff that I didn't really know or have a whole lot of vested interest in. So,
well, it's not that I don't like him or anything like that. I'm still subscribed. It's just I've never been the biggest Sargon watcher.
Okay.
One, I find his slow talking to be amazingly annoying. I can't watch him at regular speed.
Yeah, his old stuff, especially like the first few things he did on taking down TEDx talks, was one of my inspirations for starting to do this. Him and Hagbard of Selene and some of what Skeptor did originally. So I owe a little bit of inspiration to him, but yeah, I haven't really paid attention to him in quite a while.
Would you rather be a reverse centaur or a reverse merman? What?
So would I rather have the body of a horse? Sorry, the head of a horse and the body of a man, or the head of a fish and the body of a man?
I suppose the horse.
Yeah, because that at least has a certain amount of, especially these days with the horse mask thing, that has some funny connotation. At least it'll be funny. Sure. A fish headed man just be scary and ugly.
What's the chance the Democrats are only running Biden so he will announce Hillary as VP, and then when he's elected, he will die of a scheduled brain aneurysm, giving the president to Clinton?
Oh God. I hadn't even thought of somebody picking Hillary as their VP. I hadn't even thought of that.
I don't think she would accept it.
Yeah, I don't think she would take it. To be like, no, I'm not going to be like second banana to this, whoever this is, especially if it's a man. That'd look bad.
Yeah, I think that she would consider that beneath her at this point.
Yeah, and Warren wouldn't want to be anywhere near Hillary anyway. So
oh God, no.
It's done. Yeah.
Sorry, I had to blow my nose real fast. Also, I think that for a lot of candidates, Hillary would be poison to them.
That girl is poison.
She's popular with all the people because Trump beat her, but she's not popular. She's a fucking horrible shill of a woman.
Yeah, she's more Yeah, exactly. She's more popular because she's not Trump, and Trump defeated her. That's why. And then she's seen as a symbol, as like some kind of like she's the hero or something. But no, she just was the other alternative to a bad choice.
Yeah, we saw a lot of the same stuff with Gore back in the 2000s. And it wasn't that Gore was a great candidate. He's the one that Bush beat.
Right.
And you didn't see him run again in 2004. He was just like, nah, I'm good. Oh, Lord's Meow Christmas. Would you like a chocolate cheesecake waffle with French vanilla hot chocolate and a candy cane stir stick? No, because you just mix chocolate and mint. How dare you?
I would go for it, and then I would immediately die of diabetes.
Mr. Dax asks simply, sex? I'm good right now, thanks.
Yeah, no thanks, Mr. Dax.
I'm gonna pass on that. Yeah. Where else are we? Oh, hi SDA. How you doing, sweetheart?
SDA.
Do you like spicy chips? Yes, I do actually.
Did you hear that SDA's got thick feet?
Has what?
Thick feet.
No.
Okay.
I've seen her feet.
You have?
Yeah.
When?
Long time ago. We saw a picture of her. She was dressed up and you could see her feet.
Oh, okay.
They were in shoes, but I believe they were in shoes, but they were a strapped shoes, so you could still see them.
So wait, you have like the worst memory on the planet, but yet you remember SDA's feet. What does that say?
Well, it was just surprising to me that the way she took the picture, you could see from head to toe and not like head to knee or something like that.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, I think I remember that picture.
Yeah.
But then I'm not you, so.
Scribe, you know that you need to do a Die Hard theme for Christmas Eve stream, right?
I was thinking about that. The issue is that I got to find a picture, a wallpaper or something, or maybe you guys can help. I need a picture that's got characters from the movie, at least 3 of them that I can replace with our faces. Because I was thinking about that today. I have a Hunt for Red October one all ready to go as a backup. Because it was either going to be that, or I was going to try to do the Christmas Carol and try to put like our faces on Scrooge and the ghosts. Mm-hmm. But I couldn't find a good one that I could manipulate in Photoshop very easily. Let's just say. So yeah, if somebody's got one out there that's got at least like, I don't know, Hans Gruber, McClane, and
Al.
Yeah, I guess Al on there, then. I'll try to do something with that.
Cryptic, thank you, says SCA got some fine feet, a fine above the rest, or a feet above the rest. Sorry, I said a fine above the rest.
Womp womp.
I see what you did there. I'm not a feet person. I just happen to pay. It strikes me odd when there's an oddity in pictures, and these days you don't see women take full body shots. There's usually something cut off. I don't know. It just stuck out to me. There's one of Weeb's that's like that as well. How's old Chink and his aunt Chink? Fuck. How's old Chink and his animal fucking campaign doing these days? I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
Last I saw about that was Bernie taking away the endorsement, which I still say was cowardly as fuck, Bernie.
Well, it was like I said when it happened, I was like, this just shows that Bernie and his campaign don't actually vet anybody that they're giving their endorsement to.
Well, no, there's two ways you handle that. Either you pull the endorsement before he has the chance to say, I'm not going to cause any problems for the campaign.
Right.
Or you say, no, I still believe in this man, so I'm going to endorse him. I understand he's trying to separate because he doesn't want to give us any grief, but I believe in you, so I'm going to stand with you. Those are the ways you handle it. You don't go, well, he said he's not going to take endorsements, so we're not endorsing him, because that's the pussy ways out.
Right.
Wait, you used to argue to people face to face? Say what? Yeah, I argue all the time. I was just arguing with my son earlier tonight. Me and my son, he's still rather a conservative person. He just really hates Trump. And I just don't really hate Trump. So we were arguing about some of the stuff like going on with the impeachment and stuff. So it was fun to have an argument like that. But I mean, we talked for like 2 hours and talked video games and life, and then got into politics. It was a lot of fun. Cryptic, thank you. I was the chink in your armor, eh?
Oh, no.
You are the chink in my armor, Cryptic. I don't have anything interesting to ask, so consider the 24th and 25th are my only days off this week, and I'll likely be asleep. Have a Merry Christmas, Monk and Scribbles. I'll back at you, Havoc. I hope you enjoy your days off. Have a Merry Christmas. Let's see. Where are we? Did y'all hear about Mystery Guitar Man having a video hit after a news station used an old video of his in B-roll or something like that, and the news station took his old video down due to copyright? Wait.
They took down his video because they used his stuff in their video.
I would sue them.
Yeah, I totally would too. You want to talk about the violation of the DMCA? Yeah, right there.
And being that they're a news station, yeah, I would find me a lawyer who would work on a win and hit them with whatever you could come up with for fuck, hit them for fraud, man. But it is literally against the law to issue a false DMCA, and hitting them for them using your content, fuck that. Who would win in a fist fight, Biden or Bernie? I feel like the Grim Reaper would win.
Yeah, heart failure would win.
Yeah. Oh, damn, everything just jumped.
Maybe it's Chris Cross.
Damn you.
I know.
Damn you, sir.
I'm terrible.
Can y'all read my last message? I couldn't fit chat marks in. Oh, yeah. I got that one. I got it. I do tend to read the really long ones. I'll at least glance at it to see if it's a question. Would he really take the risk of having Hillary waiting to become president? No. I don't think anybody would. Has Satan ever tried to convince you to steal a doll? No?
I've never had a conversation with Satan, so that's a no.
If Warren wins, will Trump make her cry? I think it's certainly possible.
Cry, I don't know. Flustered, yes. I think that's almost a guarantee. Cry, maybe not.
I think he will. She is trying to stay above the fray in her her Twitter posts and stuff.
Yeah.
When she gets on the debate stage, she does not do well when she's challenged. She does not do well at all.
Yeah, when she's just handed softball questions and things, yeah, she can conjure up some kind of answer, even if it makes absolutely no sense, which most of them do. But if she's going to be going toe-to-toe with Trump on the stage, like I say, cry, not sure. Flustered, definitely.
I think he certainly has the ability to make her look really foolish.
Yes.
I mean, all he has to do is sit there while she's talking, go hum 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 hum.
Oh God.
And I mean, everybody will fucking lose it, and that'll all that will be talked about for the next month.
Yeah.
So I hear you and Sinatra did something awesome Sunday. Did I thank you properly for that? Yes, you did, Random. Yes, you did. What happened to the movie reviews y'all used to do? It's a timing thing, and then once you fall out of the habit of something, it's hard to get back in there.
I still have Cold Pursuit.
I still somebody had given it to me on the the digital copy, and I have it. I just haven't watched it at all.
I haven't watched it either. I'm not watching it until you watch it, Monkey.
Cryptic says Warren is full of bullshit. Yes, she is, and thank you for the donation, sir. Yeah, she's not going to do well against Trump. I think Biden would do a lot better. I think Bernie would just get mad. I actually kind of want to see that.
Yeah, I mean, no matter who gets up on that stage against Trump, it's going to be entertaining for different reasons. Like for Biden, you're waiting to see him just have another cross-wired anecdote. For Warren, you're waiting to see if she, like somebody says she's going to cry or whatever. Bernie's just going to get pissed off and get all red in the face and just lose it on Trump on stage, which would be worse than if he just done nothing interesting at all.
As if Bernie does anything but pussy out, # Black Lives Matter on his stage. Oh yeah, that was not a good look back in 2016.
Oh man, that was one of the things, and this was early on when I didn't know much about Bernie Sanders. I thought to myself, any world leader watching that, all they have to do if they're going to go negotiate anything with President Sanders is to send someone who isn't white to talk down at him. And what's he going to do? Right?
He's going to have to give in, capitulate.
He's going to have to give in. Yeah, anybody who would capitulate their podium, it doesn't matter what they look like, but anybody who's just a louder voice, you want to be president of the United States and you're going to back down to a louder voice. And you want us to have confidence in you against, say, Russia or anybody else who might be an angry participant in the world? Come on.
Eric Peters says, your son and I. No, my son and me.
My buddy and me.
Can Scribe impersonate Elvis?
Yes, but you can't see my hips, so I think it's kind of useless.
Thank you very much.
Also, Monkey, I'm not going to eat peanut butter and banana sandwiches, so yeah.
Yeah. Monkey, your son has already been indoctrinated. No, he just doesn't like Trump. And look, you can be conservative and not like Trump.
Yeah. There are plenty who are.
Do lawyers work on spec? Some will work on, if you win. And all you got to do is find some shitbag lawyer. There's somebody out there willing to take your 30%.
Yeah.
Biden would win because he'd lick Bernie's fingers. And sick the kid's feeling his leg hair on him. That's horrible.
Gross.
Do you think Biden or Bernie would be dumb enough? Oh, there's a lot of people asking about the whole putting Hillary in VP. I don't think any of them would do it, even just because it wouldn't be worth it. The headache that would come with Hillary on your campaign.
Yeah, that's not going to help. It'd actually distract from you as the presidential candidate, having her as your VP.
And Dumfruit says, how can that dumb bitch AOC say we're not an advanced country? I didn't know she said that, but because she's a dumb bitch. She doesn't know anything.
Country. How do you get to that conclusion, I wonder?
Is this something she said on Twitter? When did she say this? I'm not familiar with that. I haven't paid much attention to her anymore.
I know Sinatra did a video on her today, I think, but yeah, I haven't. I don't really go out of my way to read stories about her anymore because unless she's just one representative amongst a zillion. And right now, the representatives that get the most press are the ones dealing with impeachment, and then I don't think she's on any of the committees that deal with that, so it doesn't matter.
Hannity posted this. This is the first thing that popped up when I looked for it. AOC, United States evolving into fascist country, not an advanced society.
Jesus. Okay, well, first off, that's assuming that a fascist country couldn't also be advanced, which is nonsense, but that's beside the point. She's an idiot.
Sorry, I'm looking at. She's out there campaigning for Bernie, and she's just talking. And guys, AOC is an idiot. She's an idiot. That's what it boils down to. There's a lot of stuff you can just laugh at her for, but if you're asking for serious answers about AOC, here's a serious answer. She's an idiot.
Yeah, I have to assume, just based on her performance, let's say, that anytime that she's on a committee or doing some kind of questioning of an official or something else, anytime she says something that's halfway intelligent, it's because her staff researched it for her and scripted it for her.
Well, and even that isn't what it used to be. Ever since Psycat left, there's been a serious drop off, and this is saying something. The amount of intelligent things coming out of her mouth is just like plummeted.
Yeah.
If you go back and look when he was still working for her, you see these moments where she was having the congressional hearings, and she'd ask something and she'd fire off these. I mean, they were purposefully leading bullshit questions, but they were well done.
Right.
And now you look and she's trying to do that and she keeps getting schooled. Like when she did it to, what was his name? Harmon, the former ICE director.
Oh yeah. That guy just, oh man. She fucked with the wrong guy there.
Yeah. And she never would. I don't think Psycat would have ever let that happen. Faithless says, loved Warren's tax answer. They're just wrong. Yeah.
Oh God. Her answers on taxes are just so like not answering the question first and foremost. And then when she does say something, it's like, that is so dumb sounding. It doesn't even make any sense.
Well, that one specifically, that was where she was asked, like, look, a whole bunch of professionals have come out and said, look, if we go with Warren's tax plans, it's going to cause huge disruptions to the economy. What do you say to that, Ms. Warren? They're just wrong. Like,
right.
Oh, yeah. All right.
That's the best argument I've ever heard. Yeah. Wow. Great counterpoint.
I hadn't considered that. Yeah.
Excellent counterpoint, Senator.
Let's see. We'd be doing any game stream tonight. I don't know. I want to, but I am freaking exhausted. I've not been sleeping well, guys. And even with that, the other night being exhausted, I still went another like 6 hours past when I wanted to go to sleep.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see how I feel in 2 minutes, guys. There's a reason I hadn't announced it yet, is because I haven't decided yet. I really want to play. I'm enjoying the playthrough over there on Red Dead. There won't be a stream over on 2 Cents Plus, but I wanted to do one on Ranting Monkey Games, and I just don't know if I can. I'm a tired monkey, y'all.
And tomorrow's a busy day.
Triscuits, wheat thins, or bagels, bagel bitches. Yes.
Bagel bits? Maybe?
That says bitches.
Bitches. I like wheat thins, actually.
If Bernie or Biden becomes the nominee and while debating has a heart attack, would it be election interference for Trump to give them CPR? Technically, yes.
Technically, yes.
He's meddling is what it would be.
Oh yes, meddling. Oh God, we haven't heard that in quite a while. I need my Scooby-Doo fix. You meddling kids.
AOC is an economics major that doesn't understand grade school economics. Well, if you look at what she actually got her degree in, it's not quite economics. It's yeah. She's an idiot is what she is, guys. That's what it boils down to. And if you listen to her actually speak, I mean, This is the woman who got up there and told us, the world's going to end in 12 years and was being deadly fucking serious when she said it.
Yeah.
And then got called out on it. No, you guys just don't understand a joke when you hear one.
All right.
It's like, no, you actually told a joke literally right before that, and I noticed it because you're making fun of people who don't believe in the 12 years thing. Who's the biggest dummy in Congress? My vote goes to Representative Johnson out of Georgia.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about. I know why, but I kind of have to go for Louis Gohmert. That guy is a dim bulb of the nth degree. Johnson's had some doozies in public, yeah, but Gohmert's been consistently just woo.
When you think an island can capsize, you get my vote.
I get you.
And with that, yes, Guam guy. That's who that is, Dequay.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, with that, we are at the end of the show. Thank you so much for watching and hanging out with us tonight. We will be back here tomorrow night, 9 p.m. Eastern Time on Scribe's channel for another wonderful episode of Lords of the Night. If we don't see you then or the following day, have a Merry Christmas, guys. And thank you so much for your very kind generosity tonight. You guys are fucking amazing, and I love you. And I cannot tell you how much I appreciate that. And that's not just lip service. I say that every night because I mean it. Scribbles, thanks for hanging out, my friend.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody, your lives make us sad. We'll see you next time.
Bye, guys.
Oh, and
I'm
going to bed, guys. I'm going to bed.
Oh, okay.
But watch my Twitter because you never know. Good night, guys.
Bye.
Here's where I